Hello and welcome back to Red River Living. Today we are headed down to Mom and Dad's house. They went and picked all of their sweet corn this morning, so we are going to help them process that and get that put away and show y'all what that process looks like.
This morning we've gone out and gathered our corn and we're shucking it and getting the hairs off of it, and you can kind of look at it and tell this year we had worms pretty bad, so next year we're going to have to probably spray a little sooner than we did to combat the worms and the insects, but we'll cut that out and it'll be fine.
Buddy, what you got?
Big what?
Uh-oh, he walked away from it. Y'all already put a dent in it.
So here we're just brushing off the fine silk hairs, just trying to get them out prior to us cutting it off the cob. And they pick off pretty easy. Well, we've gotten all the corn picked this morning. We were outside, got all that shucked, and now we've moved into the house, into the air conditioner, because it's like 95 degrees outside. And now we're just starting to process the corn. We're cutting it off the ear. One of the reasons we cut it off the ear is for the sheer amount of space that it won't take up in the freezer or in jarring it up. We got electric knives running. They're cutting it off the ear, and then I'm doing it the old way with just a regular knife and everything. But once they do get it cut, then I'm in turn taking an ear and then getting all the, what we call the meat, or getting the milk out of the ear. And that's what you see, this stack right here is all the ears where we've gone in and raked them to get all the meat or juice off the ear at that time. here's one right here. You kind of see where we've taken a knife, we've cut all the kernels off the top. Then we take the knife and run it down it, and as we run it down it, you can see the juice now, the corn coming out of it. Cutting up, getting all the ears cut, the initial cut of them, just cutting the top side of them, and now we're all getting the milk out of the ear now. Trying to save every bit of it that we grow. It's a process. Get the liquid to the all over it. That's all the big is.
Well, we gotta add water to it.
I was just trying to get to the milk. So we've got our pint jars. They've been in the dishwasher, got them hot and washed real good, and now we're starting to put our corn in there, and we're cold packing the corn. Versus blanching the corn first. Putting about 1.5 cups in each jar.
We're going to add 1/2 teaspoon of canning or pickling salt to each jar because we're doing pints. If it was a quart, we would use 1 full teaspoon.
So we've got our corn in the jars, we've got our salt in the jars, and now we've got a little hot water. We're just going to top our jars off now with a little bit of hot water. Bring them up to right at the edge of the
1 inch headspace.
About an inch of headspace left in each jar. Debubble the jar so we get as much of the air out.
To add more water.
And once we do that, we'll probably have to add a little bit more water to each one.
Debubble one last time, and then we're going to wipe the tops with some vinegar to clean them off, and then we're going to get the lids on.
I just dipped that in a little bit of vinegar, and I'm just going to clean the top, the sealing surface off here of the jar.
The lids on the stove and gotten them nice and hot, and I'm putting them on top of the clean jars that Mike's cleaned off. And then we're just gonna fingertip tighten, not double tight, just fingertip tight the lids. And then we'll get them in the canner. Process.
Miss Debbie's using her pot cover right now that she just had to have, and I didn't think we needed.
I love it.
We are loading the jars into our pressure cooker here. It's an all-American pressure cooker. It holds 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 18 pint jars. What we're going to do is we're going to set it on here like this. It has an alignment arrow right here. Once we set it down, we're going to turn it to where the arrow lines up. And then you just take your clamps here and put them on and tighten them down evenly as you put them on. We went with All-American because we didn't want to deal with gaskets and all. And this has a machined metal to metal fit. And there we go. So we've got the heat on. According to our altitude, we need to bring it to 10 pounds of pressure. And they're going to, since they're pint jars, they're going to process for 55 minutes. So we've got our pint jars in the pressure cooker going. We've measured out. We're going to put 7 jars up in quarts. And then the rest that we have sitting here, we're going to go ahead and blanch it and freeze it and put it up in the freezer.
Go ahead and pour the rest of it.
So we got it on the stovetop here and we're heating it up. What you really got to be careful of is you don't want it to scorch. So I'm probably going to stir it more than it actually has to be stirred, but the amount of work we put into it today is the last thing I want to do is scorch it. So I'm going to be over here and kind of keep my eyes on it and keep stirring it pretty regular here. So we've blanched our corn. Now we're going to take it off the stove. We got our ice in this bottom pan, and now we're going to chill it down, and then we're going to bag it for freezing. So by putting this in a ice bath, what this is going to do is stop the cooking process before we bag it up. So here I'm going to seal the bag up. As I seal it, I'm going to try to get all the air out of it as best I can. So today we're finishing up on our corn here. We got corn boiling, we got some corn blanching on the stove top. We're bagging it up at this time. And this has been our process today of putting our corn up. We appreciate y'all watching Red River Living, and hope you get a chance, you like and subscribe, and we'll see y'all next time.